this is john-specko, and I want to talk to you guys about Titanfall, which was released a few days ago. I have the Xbox One version, and I know a lot of folks had issues with Xbox One and their Xbox Live the day of launch. Unfortunately, I was not one of those people, so I've been able to put in a few hours since released. Of course, I haven't been able to, play oodles and oodles of it, but I think I have enough playtime to give some good opinions on the game so far. Start off, the controls and everything feel very familiar. There's a lot of things about the game that feel familiar compared to most recent shooters. The controls, button layout's almost exactly the same as like Call of Duty or whatever you previously played, which to me is a good thing, mainly because it works. But the most, I guess you could say, unique thing about this game that I really like so far, I was most skeptical about, is the wall jumping, the wall running, and the double jumping with the jetpack. It's implemented in a way that I feel is just great. It's not like you have to press some kind of crazy button combination to get it to work. And I never find myself to where I feel like that it's just not working. I never get frustrated with it. I feel like that if I didn't make a jump or I didn't make a wall run to where I needed to go, it was my fault. It wasn't that it just didn't work. So I think that's a very, very good thing. And I feel like that will also add to the skill cap in the game. If a person's really good at shooters, but they can't quite grasp the wall running and the wall jumping and everything like that, I feel like that a person that's almost to their level as far as shooters go, but they're really, really good at using the jetpack, I feel like that person will just be at a severe disadvantage in this game, considering that it's not all one level. Like just now, you saw me over the top of somebody, just lighting them up, and that's because it's not, you just run on the ground wherever you go. It's the levels are built for Titans and for players, and I feel like it's built very well. It doesn't feel like that, oh, this is just a map to where if it's nothing but Titans and just you on foot, you're screwed. You don't have anywhere to run. You do, but at the same time, if you're in a Titan, it does feel like that you're not to where it's sort of like in previous games, if you get a chopper gunner in Call of Duty, something like that, and everybody just runs inside. Well, it's not the case in this one, because Titans are not invulnerable. And you find that out once you get into one. Now, I don't feel like they're super easy to take down. I do feel like that Titan versus Titan is pretty well balanced so far. I don't feel like there's any time where I feel like, oh, this guy has that chassis, so there's nothing I can do, or he has this weapon, I have nothing I can do. But that's a little later on into the game. Also, as far as pilots, that being players themselves, I feel like they take a reasonable amount of minutes to die. There's no shooting someone with an entire magazine of ammo from an assault rifle and them not dying. That doesn't really happen. I feel like if somebody runs off, and I've shot them a few times, if they're at a long distance, I can understand it, but there has not been a situation for me so far where it's like, oh my god, I shot that guy so many times, he didn't die. Which is really annoying. I know it plays well in certain games like Halo, but I prefer that if I get the jump on somebody and I get the rounds in them, they should die. On top of that, back to Titans, I think that if you know how to play one well, that you can work, but at the same time, if you're just running around aimlessly, you can end up dead pretty quick. I've touched on that before, but that's because every single pilot has an anti-Titan weapon. I won't say anti-tank, anti-Titan weapons that are effective, but it's going to take a little bit for them to take you down. And also, there's the rodeo ability you can do. It's basically where you're as a pilot, you run up and you just jump up on top of a Titan. This doesn't always work, because part of the time you'll get shot in the face if you try to do it from the front, or you might just get stepped on because they'll do a dash one way or the other. So the actual loadouts themselves, with the pilots and the Titans, does feel a little limited compared to, you know, other games such as Call of Duty, Battlefield, things like that. Because, you know, there's always so many weapons and so many different perks and everything like that you can go with. Now, it does, like I said, it does feel limited, but for what is there, it feels great. You know, there is a big variety in weapons as far as Titans go. You know, right now I'm using the chain gun just because it's one I like the most. You know, there's one that will shoot out like 4 grenades all at once, 3 grenades actually in one, and it'll just obliterate everything. But on the downside of that is you know, if you don't use it to its strengths, it's not like you can shoot them way off in the distance and kill somebody. So we'll get a little past that because I think we're running out of time. So prisons of minions, so that'll be grunt, specters, and stuff like that. I didn't really expect it, but they're nice. They add to the gameplay itself, is there always being something to shoot at, but at the same time I feel like people can take advantage of that and just kill minions and minions to win a game. The graphics and the color scheme look great to me. That's me personally. I just think it all looks good. Audio is not something I really paid attention to, but I do feel like with this game that if you weren't able to grab it initially and you haven't put in the hours that other people have put in, you will be at a disadvantage simply because of burn cards and certain unlocks that are just almost necessary to do well on the game, such as electric smoke with the Titans if somebody's rodeoing you, and then burn cards that allow you to immediately have a Titan at the beginning of a domination round. Yeah, I don't like that. And I'm a little disappointed that there isn't a pure pilot versus pilot game mode. That way that there would be no minions or anything to worry about, because sometimes I feel like they just will stare at you. So in conclusion, I would say if you're still on the fence about this, I would go ahead and get it. I do think it's really worth the $60. I can't speak towards the PC version, but so far I'm really enjoying the game. But as with multiplayer games, you have to keep in mind patches come through and certain things change quite a bit. So that's why I want to give an early one impressions, and I'll most likely give you a later one, and also some gameplay, and try to put out some guides if I have the time. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Very much appreciate it. Let me know if you liked the video. Let me know your opinions on Titanfall so far if you've been able to play it, and have a good one.